Hi, everybody.
Hello.
We are back for a third night in a row. I think I've streamed more time in the last 3 days than I think I've done in a long time, and I'm loving it. Very tired though. We are going to be rolling up a new character with Selkie. Is that correct? Selkie?
That's me.
Awesome.
Selkie.
And she has chosen, and I feel very appreciative of this, as Legends of Kralis to be her first tabletop RPG experience that she's ever had. I am That's awesome. That's like a white belt walking into the school. That person is the most important person. So you are very important. So I appreciate you being here. So I get to torture you now for the next 2.5 hours.
Fantastic. I'm ready.
Bing.
I can handle
And
it.
I think it's going to be easy, right? It's not going to be as hard as it seems. Just be open minded about it. And if you have any questions, of course, there are no stupid questions, just my stupid answers. You've had the book for a little while. Have you had a
Hmm.
chance to look at the character species?
I have just a little bit. Ah,
And what strikes you? What strikes you? Like, oh, I want to play that.
oh, so many of them are so fascinating. They're like, my one kind of source material, I guess you could call it, is D&D stuff. But I'm like, this is so much different. I can't even. What is any of this? But all of them are so interesting.
So which one?
Interesting.
So on page 19 or page 20, I don't know if you can get that on the PDF there. On page 20 is a shadow image of all 15 core species. Which one kind of like strikes your fancy as, oh, that looks cool?
If I'm being honest, the Sylph,
The Sylph,
Sylph seems pretty dope. The Rakas seems pretty dope. Raka?
the Rakas, right?
Yep, they seem pretty dope. Mm,
And so, since this is your first time actually rolling up a character, what kind of character do you think you want to play? Do you want to play like? And I know it's new for you, so we're going to kind of keep you constrained into one area of either being a fighter or a thief or roguish type. Which one of those do you feel your first character you want it to be? Do you want to be a roguish type or a I am going to slice and dice?
Funny enough, I love playing rogue characters in every video game I ever play ever.
Right on.
Um, so I was actually thinking about going along the same.
Do you want to play a roguish like
I,
character?
a roguish like character, yeah.
Fantastic. All right, so that helps me help you. So we're gonna stay away from all the large species because while they are able to become thieves, they make very bumbling thieves because they're so big, right? Hiding in the shadow
Mhm.
for them would be like hiding in the shadow of the moon kind of concept, right? So we want to
Yeah.
move beyond that. So some of the other ones that are really kind of cool, if you want to play a roguish character, are actually going to be the smaller species, which are going to be the Elwyn, the Balian, the Havatu, and the Manix. They make really good, and the Manix actually have the ability to most characters when they're doing like stealthing, they have to move at half their movement rate. Manix can full on run in stealth mode because they're a mouse folk. Hello,
I was
everybody.
thinking about them. I was thinking about
And but with small creatures though, you got to make sure you are not a frontline fighter, right? You're going to be the
them.
sneaky type. You're going to get behind somebody, stick them, and leave as quickly as you can. Because
Hmm.
the smaller the creature, the fewer amounts of health you have, right? The smaller amount of health you
Yeah.
have. Um,
Yeah.
so that's that. The larger creatures obviously are going to have more health, and medium creatures are good. So if you want to go with a medium creature, your choice of the Sylph is really awesome because Sylph is they are a immutable form. Basically, they're able to actually change their sexual identity in a sense from male to female as they feel fit to the situation,
So cool.
right?
Yeah.
The
Love.
Rakas are a very powerful, combative, honor-based society. So they're very like, I'm gonna do what I need to do and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, the humans are great. Don't ever pass over humans. Humans are, a lot of times people are like, I don't want to play human because I'm already a human. Got it. But humans actually in Legends of Kralos are really kind of awesome. The other species that I would think would be make much more, at least medium-sized creature, roguish type would be the Tajahu, which are actually the cousins to the Sylph in a sense. The Sylph were actually a long time ago. The Sylph race species came into existence because they were messing around with things that they should not be messing around with, and that's how they became who they are. So that's your first major decision: is what species do you think
First
you want to?
big decision.
And there's no wrong answer here, right? But if you're going to play rogue, I'm going to steer you away from the larger species.
Yeah. I think I think I like the Raka idea. Because I love the irony of honor among thieves.
Okay, we can definitely do
Like,
that.
that's fun.
You want to do that?
That's fun. Yeah, let's do a
All right,
Raka.
let's do a Rakas. Awesome. So we're going to go to page 45. So anybody on the TikTok clock app, we're actually over in the purple app making a new character.
The Raka.
Okay, you ready? You there yet?
I'm ready.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
So we're going to be flipping back and forth between the character sheet and the player's guide. So be prepared for that. So what we're going to first do here is the Rakas are a type of species that are very known for their battle orientation. They're very honor bound and honor society, right? The first things that we're going to actually do is we're going to actually talk about your features. Now, on the character sheet, on the second page of the character sheet, is a place that's called the species features and traits. It'll be a big blue box, kind of in the middle.
Feces and yeah. Got
All right. So
there.
what I normally start off with is this: is we're going to start at the very top. We're going to ignore the age because we're going to roll up age later. We're going to ignore their. We're not going to ignore their size, but we'll get to that. They're a medium-sized creature. Vision, they have night vision. We'll get to that in a minute. And their movement rate, which is a 15 feet per turn or per movement, you'll be able to do that. What we're going to start off with really is the third line, which is actually called languages, and they begin speaking Common, Rakish, and Undercommon. So what I do, and I'm not sure because I know you're working with an iPad with Adobe, so I'm not sure you can do this, but give it a try. I'll copy, right? I'll highlight the Rakash, Common, and Undercommon. I'll copy that, and I will put that in the species features and traits as one part of it. How'd that work out for you?
I can copy paste, but it's okay. I'm a fast typer.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the next thing that we're going to do, sorry about that, I had to step off the screen for a second,
That's right.
is we're going to be going to the next one, which is resistances. And this one's actually easy. Rakas get a plus 15 versus fear and horror checks. So on the character sheet, the first page, there is a small grayish box, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what we're going to do is we're going to put a plus 15 on the lines that are for fear and horror, because we're going to generate those later, but we don't want to go back and forth on pages and figure out what we have. We're just going to build it one page at a time. Okay.
That's 15.
All right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the next line is the traits. They have a kind of a trait called menacing. And what I'll do is I'll grab the word menacing, I'll drop it into the box for species, features, and traits. And menacing basically allows you to glower and, like kind of like menace somebody with your personality, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to cause them to actually make mistakes against you. Now, this one's going to be hard. And so what I'm going to do for you, I don't know if that won't actually work because you're working on an iPad versus your phone. I mean, your computer. So basically it has a 5-foot radius. So a 5-foot radius. Targets must make a willpower check at 1 per 25 of my charisma modifier. So what we'll do here is we will come in here, willpower check. So targets must make a willpower check at a TS equal to 1 per 25 charisma. Hello, Spider-Man 20. How are you? Followed the host. Well, thank you for following. I appreciate it. And they suffer a -5 penalty per 2 charisma modifier to the all checks on the next 2 turns against you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that if you have this ability to cause them to make a willpower check, right? And we'll get into how that all works when we start playing. And if they fail their check, they actually suffer. They're not able to be as effective against you because you're glowering at them. You're giving them that stink eye, like, mess with me, right? That's basically what menacing does. Do you have that?
Full skill check. Got it.
Got it right on.
Against the rock.
The
But like all of
Rakas.
them? Is that like all of them?
What do you mean?
Like if there's my character and there's another Rakas, and if I do it, does it also?
So if there's multiple Rakas, only one glowering menacing from one Rakas is would be effective, and it'd be the highest one, right?
Okay.
And there's actually rules for that. If there's more than multiples, the menacing of the Rakas with the greatest charisma is used. Just because of that. I mean, can you imagine like a group of these things all menacing somebody in the town? They would, right? So it's the one with the highest charisma would work. So the next thing they do is they have poison immunity. So I'm going to grab poison immunity and I'm going to put it in my character sheet in the box. They are immune to A through D types, I believe. A through D types. Let me double check. I believe that's what it is. Yes. Oh, thank you for the like, Spider-Man. I appreciate it. I'm also on TikTok right now. I haven't done this for a while, so we'll see what happens. All right. Now we're gonna go back to the top, to the first page, the little gray box, and in poison check, we're gonna put a +40 there.
It's 40.
Cool. All right. The next thing is they are technophobic, meaning that anything that has any really strong connections to technology, and that would be up to the GM's discretion to a certain point. They suffer a -25 to use it. There's a 25% chance that 25% chance that tech will fail when they use it. So if you pick up a handgun, there's a larger chance that the handgun will actually explode in your face than anything else. Spider-Man, we are actually rolling up a character for a coming up game session in D&D Denial's Twitch stream. And she's over here in the purple app with me, and I'm here with you on the clock app. All right, so that's technically it. That is all the information for the features and traits. So what's really cool about Legends of Kralis is your character starts off with 5 abilities, and these abilities are kind of like pseudo magical things that your character can just do, right? Just allows them to
Cool.
do. As a new first rank character, you start off with 5 of these. You're going to get 2 from your species, 2 from your focus, and then 1 that you get to choose at the time of when we actually get to that. And we'll get to that soon. So there are 8 species abilities, as you'll see, starting with adapted and going all the way to undying hatred. Pick 2 of those based off of the concept that you want to be a roguish kind of individual. Which one matters to you? You also want to make sure that if you are going to be doing that something new, since you're new to this, health and ignoring damage is really important in Legends of Kralis.
Okay.
But don't let that be your like, oh my, that's all I'm gonna do.
Think we're gonna go with blade resistance and bodyguard.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll grab blade resistance and I'll go to the section that's called, I hate when that happens. Blade resistance. It's called under abilities, the bigger section there. And what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and put in there blade resistance. So I know I have it. And it's basically I get a plus 10 damage reduction versus slashing weapons. And it stacks with other armor absorptions, which is important. Okay.
Okay.
And I know, so I'm going to go kind of slow with you on this because I know you're kind of typing it in a different location.
Typing as fast as I can.
No worries. So how was your day? Was your day good today?
Yeah, pretty good.
Good.
I got to work from home today, and it was great.
Woo. Let me know when you're ready for the next one.
Against, damn it, I'm trying to copy off of the screen, and the screen's very blurry. Viewer screen. Damage reduction to slashing weapons. Is that what that
Yeah,
says?
it's a plus 10 damage reduction to slashing weapons.
Slashing weapons. Okay.
Okay.
And then bodyguard.
And then bodyguard. So what we're going to take out of here is bodyguard gives you a plus 20 bonus to your physical defense when you're defending someone other than yourself. Okay. And you also gain one of the following as a spell-like ability, and you may only choose one from either list. You can either take hey, out of print, constant. So you get one. So constant, something that's always can either be constantly on or you can use it once per day. So these are spells that your character just can generate, right? It's just like this thing that you can do, right? It's more magical than anything. You can alter your sight, which basically allows you to change your sight from night vision up to the extra one, which is like heightened or even perfect night vision, which allows you to then see better in the dark. Calm means that you're gonna make somebody like, calm down. It's okay. I got you. Freedom basically allows that if you're being constrained or held onto or magically held, freedom allows you to attempt to escape those bonds or that clutching much easier. Protection from antithesis evil, meaning that you gain bonuses versus evil creatures if you are using protection of antithesis. This is something that's always on, right? It's constant. Hope allows you to actually have this ability to cast hope that kind of gives you bonuses to your friends around you up to a certain point. Thanks for the likes out of print. No philosophy means that you get to know someone's philosophy. Like you can look at them and go, you know what? I think, yeah, you're definitely neutral or you're definitely evil, right? Depends on what you want to do. Or the once per day things are you can cast elemental shield air. Calm, which is I'm not sure. I've just found that out. Looks like I found a mistake, and I'm gonna have to change that. Darkness, ethereal sight, which means you can see beyond into other realms of reality, in a sense. Far sight, which allows you to see distant objects really close up, and then wall of bone, which allows you to create this wallish, this bone of this wall of bones and other things.
I like freedom, but I
like
think
freedom?
that'll
Yeah.
I think that'll work.
Right.
Let me get out of this situation and go help my friend.
Right, exactly, absolutely. So what you're going to do is here is on the same line with bodyguard, I'm going to go ahead and put spell like ability freedom, right? And we'll get to that, what it does, and we'll add something more to that later. Okay?
Okay.
That is, we are done with this portion of it, and we are done with this portion of your
Ooh.
character creation. So it's really actually, we're
Ooh.
15% done. Now we are going to go to character attributes. So that's going to be on page 53. I am on the itch channel. Yes, I am. Out of print. I'm on the purple app.
53.
The lethargic monkey. Where is Talarius? I'm Talarius. This is me. And this is oh my god. I can't think of the name right now. Selkie. Sorry, Selkie. I wanted to say Sedgwick, but that was like, no, that's not right. My brain was going Sedgwick. No, that's not right.
No, like the seal creature.
That's like the cell creature.
Like the silky.
Like the silky. I got you.
Yeah.
I don't know why Sedgwick was in my brain. It's weird.
No idea.
Yeah. So page 53 is where we're at, and this is where we're going to actually do some rolling, some dice rolling. Okay. So we have we have 3 different types of waves of actually creating attributes. We have the standard, the point buy or purchase, and the heroic. We're just going to go with the standard, which means this is what you do. Now we're going to pull up the character determination sheet. This is really helpful for first timers because it helps keep everything in order for them. Okay. Okay. So all our attributes are based off of the size of the species or creature that's being determined or all that. Hey, out of print. Is your size. So small creatures are going to be faster and more perceptive than they are going to be strong or stamina wise or healthy, right? Large creatures are going to have a lot more health, a lot more strength, and a lot more stamina, but not as quick nor as perceptive. Medium creatures are right down the middle, meaning they get a 50. They start off with a 50 with all of it. So on your base size, going all the way down that particular column, we're going to put 50 for each of these. This is your base starting size, base size. Cool?
50. Okay.
Now, you're going to take 4d10 and you're going to roll all of them. You're going to roll all of them, but you're going to re-roll any ones, okay? And then of those 4, you're going to discard the lowest. So you should end up with a score anywhere from potentially 6 all the way to 30 potentially. All right. And tell me those scores. And what you need to do is you're going to be in the campaign column, the campaign modifier column, and we're just going to put those in there, right? And then when we're done rolling, you get to assign them wherever you are, and I'll help you with that to help you be the best roguish character you can be.
Gonna be the best rogue. Okay. Oh no, I dropped one. Come back.
No, come back.
Come back. Saved him.
Nice.
Okay. We're rolling 4d10. And we're discarding I got 2 lowest ones. Roll 2 2s.
All right, so you only get to discard one of those. And actually,
okay.
So what did you roll?
I have a 9, a 3, a 2, and a 2.
Hello there.
You have a 9, a what?
A 3.
And 2 2s?
A 2 and 2 2s.
Ooh, that's a low roll. We need to get you higher. So that's actually going to be 9, 12, 14, which isn't too bad. That's a little bit below average. If your dice are betraying you, Selkie, you need to change them out because dice need to be told who
I
uses the
have
master.
plenty of dice to go
All right,
through,
awesome.
so we'll.
Hey, Fluffy Alpaca, how are you doing tonight? He came and joined and
So-
then left on the TikTok too.
We're
So-
gonna get rid of that one and come back new friend.
All right, roll them again. You're going to do this 7 more times.
Oh no! Why do I keep dropping one?
It's trying to
One of
escape.
them
It doesn't want to be included.
It's trying to escape. It's always the
No.
same one too.
It's like, no, I don't want to
Okay,
be included.
this is decently better, and we're getting rid of the smallest one.
Right. So if you have a 1, re-roll it. And then if you didn't get any ones, just discard the lowest.
Discard the lowest. Okay, so now we have a 6, an 8, and a 4. Just a little bit better.
So 18, not too bad. We got to get higher though. We want to get to the 20s. Come on, Selkie, 20s and higher. That's where we want to be.
20. It's 15. It's 15.
15.
You said 20, and I wrote down 20.
Sorry.
Don't want to be cheating on my first game.
Is there anything such as cheating?
There's always things such as cheating.
So you should have a 14, 18, and a 15 right now, correct?
I have a 4. No, I only did.
Okay.
I only did twice.
All right,
I only rolled twice.
All right. So what's the third roll?
So far. Third roll, we're gonna get rid of that 0.
Wait, no. The 0 is actually a 10. That's a good thing.
Oh. So then we're getting rid of the 3.
Right.
Okay, so this is significantly better, and I can do math perfectly, and it's 23.
There we go. So yeah, anytime you roll a 0 on the D10, it's actually a 10. So it's a 10.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Fluffy Alpaca. How are you doing again? Hope you stick around. We're rolling a character on the Purple app for a new campaign on the D&D Denial Twitch stream. Coming soon.
Okay. Get rid of that 1. Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking with some gas. All right. What was the next roll?
We're doing good. So next one, I'm doing math because I'm good at math. I'm not. 13 plus 9. 22.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do it again.
Do it again.
Reroll the 1. Oh, sugar. Good. I don't think that should be allowed to be that high.
No, we want it as high as possible.
33.
Okay, so that is not possible. The best score you can get is a 30.
Oh, right. Just get rid of the lowest.
Right.
Whoops. 27.
27. Right on. That's
27.
still better. There we go. Okay, do it again.
Get rid of the lowest. Forgot that part. I was so excited. Reroll the 1. Get rid of one of those. 22.
Nice.
Again.
There we go. So out of print, she's actually a first-time TTRPGer, and so I feel very lucky for that. She's learning to play Legends of Kralis, rolling up her first character. She started off with a Rakas, and she's focused on becoming a rogue type like stealth character. So we'll see where this ends up by the end of the night.
23.
23, right on. See, now you're getting it. Now
we're getting it. I'm just not very strong.
Well, no. So the thing is we're going to reassign these however you want. So we're just writing them down right now.
Oh, great. Oh, sugar. That's 27.
I know from now on, whenever you say sugar, I know that means you did awesome. Right on. Cool. All right. So
I try not to cuss.
Right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to assign these to the appropriate stats. Now, since this is your first time playing Legends of Kralis and playing TTRPGs for this first time, in Legends of Kralis, for stealth characters, the three most important attributes are going to be your agility, your perception, and your willpower, followed by wits and intelligence. So strength is not going to be your is going to be important, but it's not going to be like that's the thing that's going to do what I need to do, right? So you're going to want to focus on your agility, perception, wits, and willpower. You've got a 27. You've got two 27s actually. Where and willpower is really where the stealthy stuff comes from. So you're going to want a high stealth there. So what I'm going to do to help you out, I'm going to take the first 27, I'm going to drop it in willpower.
Okay. I think I'm gonna put the other 27 probably in agility.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. And then I would take one of your 23s and drop that into your perception. Your other 23, I would drop it into intelligence. And then do you want to be kind of strong, or do you want to do you not care about that?
Kinda.
Well, because strength doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to hit harder, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the way I think that I'm getting a vibe from you that you're going to be the one that's going to spring from the shadow, stick them in the neck, and then disappear into the next shadow.
Gone. Yeah.
Is that what I'm feeling from you? Because
Yeah, I like doing like I like to consider myself kind of like a sniper.
okay, brilliant.
In
So you're
in
gonna
like you'll never know I'm there and I'm just gonna hit you from afar.
right on. Okay, that works. So definitely agility and perception where you're gonna want to be. So then I would take your 22. I would stick it into your stamina because there are going to be abilities that are going to require you to spend fatigue points to be able to actually do some cool things. So you just want to have that. I would then take your other 22, drop it into your wits, and then your 14 and 18. You put those where you want in your strength and charisma.
The 15?
Oh,
14, 15?
14, 15. Oh, I thought you said 18. Okay, 14,
No,
15.
15. 15. Uh, probably put the 15 in charisma.
Okay.
Don't want to be at like somewhat.
So charisma is not necessarily a physical beauty. It can be the power of your personality as well, right?
Yeah, just a somewhat of a force of personality. Like as much as I get into trouble, I like to get out of trouble.
Right. It's like I always say, I know enough Spanish to get myself into trouble and just enough to barely get out of it. Right. All right. So the next thing that we're
Yep.
going to do is we're going to we're going to add modifiers to this, right? Which are going to be your
Okay.
species modifiers. Now, you have a choice. And since you're new to this, we have written and designed specific bonuses to modifiers based off of what we feel is best for the species. If you want to really focus on something that's not a what's called a core species attribute, this
Mm-hmm.
modifier, you can decide that, hey, you know what, I really want to put a plus 10 and two of my other attributes and a plus 5 someplace else, so you can get a little bit more flexibility with what you're doing with your creating your character. So in the standard modifiers, the Rakas have a plus 10 to their, can get two, right, a plus 10 to their strength, their agility, intelligence, or charisma. Now, if you want to play like a sniperish kind of thing, I think what we want to do here is this. Let's switch your agility and your perception. Okay?
Okay.
So you got an agility of 23 and a perception of 27. And if you want, what you can do is you can then take I want to put a plus 10 and a plus two plus 10s and a plus 5 anywhere where I want. That way you can be a more effective roguish character. So what you're gonna does that make sense?
A little, but I
Okay.
think once we get into it, it'll make more sense.
Okay, so if you look at the species modifiers, right, you'll see that all the
Yes.
species have specific modifiers that we've designed that we feel that that's what makes up the core of a species. This
Yes.
other this optional rule allows you to then say, you know what, I like that, but I really want to focus like the Rakost. They don't give me a bonus to my perception or my
Mm-hmm.
willpower, but I really want to focus on those. Okay, cool. So then you can use the optional rule to gain two plus 10s, one to assign to your perception and one to assign to your willpower. And then you gain a bonus little tiny plus 5 that you can assign anywhere. So what that looks like over here is, since we're going to do it that way, we're going to give ourselves a +10 to our perception, a +10 to our willpower, and then let's say put the +5 wherever you want.
Let's put +5 in charisma.
+5 in charisma. All right, very cool.
Yeah,
All right. Now,
just use a little second.
right? So next we're going to work on our focuses. Now, I'm sure you've heard through your contacts and other people around you that have played Dungeons and Dragons, they always talk about, I'm a dwarven fighter or I'm an elven ranger or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes.
ranger or that fighter are considered classes. And we, since we're a classless system, we have basically the closest thing that we'll ever get to it is using focuses. And all types of archetypes can be broken down into four basic ones, right? You're either a combat, which is a fighter, a paladin, a knight, what have you. You're a knowledge, which happens to be your sages, your magic users, and archetypes or architects and those kind of things. Then you have your social, which happen to be like your bards, your conmen, your divine casters, your priests, those. And then you have stealth, which happens to be predominantly the rogues, which are thieves, assassins, and those kind of characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for that, because you want to be roguish, now here's where you get to make a decision. You can be a combat focused rogue or a rogue that has some combat ability. Which do you want to go? And it's not gonna the only thing that's gonna matter is that if you choose stealth abilities, it's gonna cost you an additional 500 merit points. And don't worry about that. It's gonna cost you a little bit more to gain them per rank rather than doing that.
Oh, so this just matters on whether I do a combat focus
Right.
or like the stealth
Right,
focus.
and the stealth focus allows you to do has a couple of extra cool things. Like in the combat, let's look at combat real quick. You can take abilities. Remember when I said at the beginning you gain 2 from your focus? In
Mhm.
combat focus, you could gain an acrobat fighter, armor proficiency, attack quickness, battle cry, battle sense, combative leap, champion, death strike, discover flaw, don't think, act, improve multiple strike, martial arts technique, parry, shield mastery, and surgical strike. Those are ones you can still gain these if you decide not to go with combat focus as other
Mhm.
abilities later down the road. The stealth focus allows you to have Antaki movement at a heroic level, which is kind of like the ability to move silently and with abilities that allow you to like change and alter. Like you can literally blend into things, right?
Mhm.
Arboreal movement, which allows you to run across the tops of trees, the boughs of trees, run along small little ledges if you need
Never
to.
do that.
Corner of your eye means that you can notice things very very easily, right?
Mhm.
Deft walk allows you to literally, when you activate this power, literally become Spider-Man, meaning that you can
Dope.
walk up walls and ceilings and things for a limited time. Um, Expert leaper means that you can jump further. Expert grappler means that you're really good at grappling somebody, like wrestling with them.
Mhm.
Featherfoot means that you can cause your footsteps to almost become in, sorry, not being able to be heard very easily.
Okay.
Increased speed means you move faster. Kujarak Kai are a set of abilities and powers that are very similar to, not quite like the Jedi. That's the best description I can give you. We have another whole source that kind of gets you closer to that. Misdirection means that you can like cause something to happen in some place close to you and get people to divert to that, like you're misdirecting them.
Mhm.
Open says me that you can actually hit a lock and it'll potentially just pop open for you.
Dope.
Shadowcraft and Shadow Data allow you to pull on elements of shadow things, right? Like shadow weapons and shadow walking and shadow blending and casting darkness on yourself if you need to. Surgical Strike allows you to use your perception modifier as your bonus modifier. So if you're using that sniping weapon, whether it's a crossbow, a bow, or a rifle or a gun, you have that ability. So what focus do you feel is fits your character type?
I like the I'm kind of building a character in my brains, and I think combat, like a combat rogue,
You want to be a combat rogue? All right, very cool.
combat rogue.
All right, so with that decision, now you get focus modifiers, right? So what we're gonna do is, if you notice on page 54, there's a gray box there that says Table 3 Focus Modifiers. Since you've
Mhm.
decided to go with combat, you're automatically going to gain a +5 to your stamina under the focus column. And then you get to choose an additional +5 to either your strength, your agility, or your perception.
Let's go +5 to agility.
All right. Well, before you make that final decision, perception is what is used for weapons that are snipey, like missile weapons,
Cool.
which are your bows, your crossbows, your firearms and pistols, guns, energy blasters, and those kind of things. Do you want to add it to that or to
Yeah,
your agility?
that one might be
All right.
make her super snipey.
All right. You've actually got a really cool character here. You've got a very strong looking uh, combative rogue that you'll be able to really do well with. I think you'll like it in
Cool.
the end. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to have you go back to your character sheet and I'm going to paste in the attributes, which are going to be at the top of your character sheet, page 1. And I'm just going to tell you what they are. That way you don't have to flip back and forth. Cool?
Cool.
All right. So your strength is going to be 64.
Okay.
Your stamina is going to be 77. Your agility is going to be 73. Your perception is going to be 92. That's incredible.
Super
Yeah,
perceptive.
very super. Your intelligence is 73. Your wits is 72. Your willpower is 87. And your charisma is 70, which isn't too bad. Now, I don't know how this works on the Adobe with on the iPad, but did all the other things kind of pre-gen for you? Like generate?
They did not pre-gen. I had to put them in, but
You know what I'm
oh,
saying though?
like the second box.
Right.
Yeah, they did. They
Okay,
did. They did.
fantastic.
Yeah,
That's cool
we're
to
good.
know because you're the first person I think I've actually rolled up a character remotely that's actually using the iPad to track things. So that's awesome to know that. Hey, Bardic Geek, I hope you're still there. How you doing? All right. One thing that
I'm the problem child, clearly.
you're the problem child.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as problem child. All right, so we're basically done with that. So we don't need to save that anymore. So we'll just go ahead and close it out. So we're done with
Cool.
that. One thing that we
Yeah.
didn't do, and that's my fault. Let's give your character a name, shall we?
Oh, step one. Yeah.
So let's do this. We were since the Rakas. Go back to page 45 in the player's guide. Yeah, don't snipe at banshees. Don't ever do that. Out of print did that and is actually dealing with repercussions slowly.
Noted. Don't snipe at
Don't
banshees.
snipe at banshees ever.
Okay.
All right, so what you'll know there on page 45 is languages and names. So I have written a somewhat comprehensive word dictionary, translated words of between 25 to 2,700 words, depending on the species, of like common translated words.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I've also created typical names and typical surnames that you can use. And the reason why I bring up the little dictionary part of it is sometimes I've noticed some players will like, they have this idea of what they want to call their character, and if there's a couple words that they like that are part of the translation there,
Mm-hmm.
and they will start off with like a typical name, and then they'll do something different. So it's your choice. You can either make up your own name, or you can go with our typical names and typical surnames to get you started.
I like some of these typical surnames.
Hey, Seamus, how you doing, bud? I'm over on the purple app over here, rolling up a character. So if you have any questions, it's a first time role player, and she has chosen to play Legends of Kralis for her first game. That is awesome. I'm so excited. All right. So what name what stands out to you? That
Uh, Bahra, the word for north.
okay, Bahra,
Bahra
right? Bahra, okay.
as a first name, and then the third name. I'm so torn. These are so fun. I think I like Vogukan for White Storm.
White Storm. Which one was it?
Vogukan, the typical surname towards the bottom there, the one that means White Storm.
Okay, right on. Wohokan, right on. I like that. Right on. So you're the northern. Oh, I didn't do that right. The Northern White Storm. Cool. That's awesome. Wow. That's an intense name. That resonates power in my mind.
Core,
Awesome.
hardcore.
Right. So also we're gonna make sure we choose our species now since we're here. Let's go ahead and pick the Rakas. We're gonna choose our size and go to medium. Your rank is rank 1 because you're a low level, so first rank. Your focus is combat, and you don't have a cultural kin because all Rakas come from very similar cultural backgrounds.
Rank 1.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now we're gonna get back into where we were at. Now that we've chosen our focus, we're gonna go back to page 54, and we're gonna continue here.
Back to 3, 4. Okay.
Right. So, as a combat focused individual, any weapon that you pick up with that you're not trained with, you gain a plus 10. And we'll get into why that matters a little bit later. Right now, I'm going to go back to my species features and traits, and I'm going to put in there gain a plus 10 bonus to untrained attempts with any weapons they pick up. Basically, as a combat focused individual, you're pretty familiar with most weapons. You know how a gun works. You know how a knife and swords kind of work. You know how a pole arm kind of works. So you can pick them up and you can kind of use them with some relative proficiency. You're not an expert in any of them, but you can pick them up and, in case something breaks, right?
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm going to go to the species features and traits, and I'm going to type in there or write in there, gain plus 10 bonus to untrained skill attempts with any weapon.
My thing bugged out for a second, but we're good now.
Oh, right on. All right,
We're
so
good.
now you get to choose two bonus abilities from your combat focus, right? So choose two of those, and if you have questions about any of them, let me know, and then we can go investigate
Okay, so I'm instantly drawn to Acrobat Fighter.
them. Okay.
And what's Champion?
So champion. So let's go take a look at champion, shall we? So
Okay.
champion is basically one of those things that you become a champion for either your species, your deity, or a particular set of personal honor, right? And when you're working on certain things, you gain bonuses of those. You also have a code of honor, right? That you develop yourself. And these are some sample ones like be always vigilant, defend the weak, be of no offense, be always loyal, be always honorable, be always humble. On the other side of that, you gain certain abilities for free that you get to choose as one every 5 ranks. Right? Is it every 5 ranks, I believe?
Yep.
it's every 5 ranks. No, every 3 ranks. You get a new ability every 3 ranks. It's for free, but you have to add its merit total to your cost, and we'll get to that later. Which is kind of cool.
Okay.
It's kind of like, having a code of honor that you've decided to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can either be against a philosophy type or a species type.
Okay. Martial arts. I think I read about on the martial arts technique that there's a couple different ones.
Right. So martial arts techniques comes with a defense and an offensive technique, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it also depends if you're going to be a martial artist or be someone who you can still use weapons. It's whatever you want to do. So we're going to go with acrobat fighter for one of them, correct?
Yes, acrobat fighter for sure.
Okay.
I like that one.
Okay. And what about one of the other ones? Combative leap allows you to literally leap into combat as though you were charging, right? Um, discover flaw allows you to look at an opponent for a little bit and discover a chink in their armor or their physical defense, giving you bonuses against them.
Mm-hmm.
Improved multiple strike allows you, and this is where this gets important. Improved multiple strike, so you as a character can strike multiple times during your turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're untrained or do not have the ability called improved multiple strike, those are always going to be a -10, -20, -30, and -40 to your check. If you have improved multiple strike and you can take them multiple times, it reduces that penalty to 0, -10, -20, -30 for the first time, then -0, -0 for the second time, -0, -0, -0 for the third, and so on and so forth.
Okay. I think we're gonna go with acrobat fighter, and then we're gonna do improved multiple strike.
Okay, right on. So go ahead and grab that. Hey Vox, how you doing, bud? I'm over on the purple app over here. We're rolling up a character tonight. All right, so let's do this. Let's go take a look at Acrobat Fighter. So with this, you gain a +5 to your physical defense for every 2 successes you gain in your acrobat skill check. So acrobatics, the skill, is going to become very important to you, right? Because you're an acrobatic fighter. And then we also have a tactical event that you can use, what's called acrobatic fighting, which is really kind of cool. However, you cannot wear medium or heavy armor at all and use this ability. So it's always going to be a light armor for you, or magical defenses, or magical light items, or technological items to improve your physical defense. Right.
Cool.
So improved multiple strike basically reduces. If I could type, reduces the multiple strike penalties by -10. And so the next time you take it, it'll be -20. Third time you take it, it'll be -30. Fourth time you take it, it'll be -40. Because technically, you could attack up to 10 possible times as you get higher in rank. So you can keep taking this. Yeah, you just go Ginso knife on somebody.
Go hard.
Right? All right, so that is that. We're going to go back to our character focuses. And as a combat focused individual, you're going to gain some bonuses. You gain +10 health. We haven't figured out your health yet, but on the first sheet, about the middle of the sheet is the health points. We're going to, in the max health, we're going to put a +10 there. So first time rolling up a character box. I don't know if you're still there or not.
+10. Okay.
Okay. And you gain a +5 to your physical defense. So in your physical defense, which is, if you're watching me on the screen, it's about middle, just above skills. And I'm going to put it in the total. I'm going to put a +5 there.
5. Okay.
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 Cool. We are done with choosing our focuses. Now we get to get into some of the crunchy parts. So I often joke that I'm very much like 31 flavors. I give you so many options to create whatever you want to create. And now we're at the point where we're putting on some of the We've chopped up the banana. We've split the banana. We've put our favorite ice cream in. Now we're putting on the whipped cream, some nuts, some hot fudge, butterscotch,
Good stuff.
the good stuff. It's the crunchy stuff. All right.
Heck yeah.
So what we're going to work on here now is... Give me 1 second here. I just noticed something. And if you need a bio break or anything at any point, just let me know and we can take a break.
Sure.
What am I looking for? Where is it?
I just randomly get hydrated every now and then.
Right. Normally, someone's in my chat over here going, "Hey, take a drink." But no one
Just
has
hydrate.
time to hydrate. All right. So
Hydrate.
health points.
There.
Right.
Yeah.
Since everything is based off of your species size, small, medium, large, again, like I said earlier, the smaller you are, the less health points you're going to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means as a medium creature, you're going to start off with a base of 40 plus your stamina modifier plus your willpower modifier in total health. Okay?
Okay.
So for you, it's going to be 40 plus 5 plus 7. So it's going to be 52 plus the 10 makes it 62.
60 current health. 60.
Right.
Wait, where are we putting it? 60 max health.
In max health.
Max health 62. 62. All right.
Okay. Your next thing you're going to worry about is your fatigue points, which is going to be your stamina score plus your willpower modifier. So it's going to be 84 fatigue. Fatigue is our way of, instead of doing damage to you for bumps and bruises, it's through your health. These are bumps and bruises, right? Let's say you fall down the stairs, and instead of taking 10 points of health damage, you take 20 points of fatigue damage because you just, you've gotten an air knocked out of you, you bruised, your shoulder's not hurt, like that. But it doesn't cause any penalties. But you reach 0 fatigue, you're knocked out for several hours. When you're knocked out, you don't know what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Out. Cool.
Is that? Oh, that is Dr. Implausible watching. Hello, sir. How are you? How's Canada treating you tonight? Your next thing is we're going to worry about your physical defenses. Now, all physical defenses start off at a base of 30 plus 2 controlling attribute modifiers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is what it does. So your physical defense is going to be 30 plus your agility modifier plus your perception modifier. So in this case, it's going to be 38, 42, but plus you've also got a bonus there of plus 5 for your physical defense. So your physical defense is going to start off at 47.
Good.
Cool. Now your magical defense is going to be 30 plus your intelligence modifier plus your stamina modifier. In this case, 39.
Okay.
Your divine defense is going to be 30 plus your charisma modifier plus your wits modifier. In this case, it's 38.
Okay.
And finally, your Jinhu defense is going to be 30 plus your willpower modifier plus your intelligence modifier. And in this case, it's 42.
42. All right.
No, sorry, 41. My bad. Sorry. Brain.
Okay.
Math.
41. Math is hard.
Yeah, it can be hard sometimes. And that's technically the end of your defenses on this. Your movement, since you're a medium creature, up at the very top of your character, your base movement is going to be 15 feet.
15.
Right, and your initiative should already be there, so I believe it's 16. It should be on your sheet. Is that correct?
It is.
All right.
Yes.
See, gotta love it when a plan comes together like that.
Woo.
The next thing we're going to worry about is heroic luck. Now, heroic luck is perhaps the games, and this is something you'll get used to adhering, is called meta, right? Things that happen that can control things outside sources making in-game effects, right? And heroic luck is probably the most meta thing that we have going on for us. Heroic luck allows you to change the dynamic of the scenario that you're in to some degree. Like if you roll and you fail your roll, You don't like your roll and you want to re-roll, you can spend 1 heroic luck to re-roll it. Let's
Cool.
say you fail and you really want to make that roll, you can spend 2 heroic luck to re-roll it immediately. All the way up to the point of having 10 heroic luck. 10 heroic luck basically says that if you have been, let's say the dragon it has bitten you and you're in its maw and it's just and it's going to kill you because it's eating you. You can say, you know what? I'm not going. I like this character too much. I don't want it to die. I'm going to spend 10 heroic luck. Okay, great. You literally survived the chomping on by the dragon,
Mm-hmm.
but something bad has happened. Maybe you lost an arm. Maybe you lost an arm and a leg. Maybe you lost an eye, or something like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
there are things that allow you to do different things. Like we have an ability called biomechanics. So you could go to someone and say, "Hey, listen, I need a new arm." They can build you a new arm if you don't have
Dope.
somebody that can regenerate you. Things like that.
Dope.
Hey, what's up, goofy ass? What's going on, bud? So your heroic luck is going to start off with a base of 4. You gain a new heroic luck every time you roll a critical, which is an Ot 1 through Ot 5 on a D100, 1 for every rank that you go up, and you can also purchase additional heroic luck every rank. So basically, you could get 4 heroic luck every rank if you so like.
Cool.
Cool? All right.
Cool.
Now, I, as a GM, do not care how you do this. We're going to roll up your age, your height, and your weight. You can either decide, hey, I want to roll with it and go and see what happens, or we can go with average. What do you want to do?
Go with average, like.
Like, so the Rakas age is a base of 15, and
Mm-hmm.
and they would roll a d10. So you could start off at the age of 16 all the way to age of 25. But if you go with the average, which is about 5, you would be 20.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So what would you like to
Uh,
do?
let's roll it. I'm chaotic. Let's roll.
Let's roll. I like that.
Roll for it.
Let's roll for it.
So it's 15 plus whatever
15
this
plus
boy
whatever
is.
you roll on 1d10.
Hey, be 17.
17, right on. So
Roll the
your
whole
age.
two.
So on the second sheet of your character sheet at the top is a section called personal information. This is where we're going to record your age, your height, your weight. If you want to put a gender in there, you can. It's up to you. So your age, you're 17. You are young. Look at you.
Little
Yeah,
little baby sniper boy.
yeah, look out. Look out. Now your height and weight. You can do average again, or you can do rolls. The Rakas are 5 foot, and they would roll. You roll 2d10, adding them together to get a number from 2 inches to uh, 20 inches in height. So you can be anywhere from
Adding
five
for
foot
5 foot.
two to almost 7 foot tall.
Dope. Let's roll it.
All right, let's roll.
So that's a 9 total.
So you're 5'9".
5'9". Hey, that's like my height.
Right on. All right,
I haven't
now
changed since I was 17. So
you just got there and stopped. Just okay. I'm tall
stop.
enough. If you want to grow some, no, no, I'm good. 5'9" is right
No,
where I want to be.
we're right there. That's all you get.
That's all I'm gonna get. Right. All right. So now we're going to go with your weight. A Rakas weight starts at 125 pounds, and then you will roll the d10s 10 times and add it all together. So you will go anywhere from 10 to 100 pounds. So you could be anywhere from 135 to 225 pounds. Or
The dice.
you can do, yeah, you grab those dice. Or you can do
I have a
average.
big old tray.
Look at
Got a
that.
big old
Awesome.
tray full of dice. Told you I'm a dice goblin and just have never been able to use them.
Right on.
Okay, where are all of my d10s? Gotta find them all. Where's the one I sent to jail? Because you gotta come back now. How many is that? That is 8, 9, and 10.
All right. Let's see what you roll up.
All right. Hopefully they all stay on the desk. All right. You've got a 10 plus 6 plus 8 plus 2. I'm not doing math in my head. I hope
I'm
you
at
are.
26 with you.
Okay. Then we got a 3 and a 7, and another 7, a 9, 5, and another 10.
So I think you're going to be about 185 pounds.
Woo.
Yeah, that's about where that puts you, about 185 pounds. All right. We got your age, we got your height, we got your weight, and we are moving on. So your vision is, as a Rakas, is night vision. So on the vision there, next to your height, go ahead and select night vision. Okay.
Okay.
Right on.
Just-
And now we're going to finish up your encumbrance. Encumbrance is a weird kind of mechanic in any game, and various games have their way of doing it. Ours is how much weight can you actually carry and know what you're carrying. So your maximum lift, like if you were to like grab something off the ground and try to lift it up, is 384 pounds. And you'll notice that the encumbrance, which is on the second sheet, middle of the sheet, third section over, is already filled out because of your height. I mean your size that you filled out. So what does that mean? Does that mean you can walk around carrying 384 pounds? Not necessarily. If you were to actually take on the weight of 384 pounds, you're going to lose 80 fatigue per turn, move 5 feet per turn, and suffer a lot of penalties, a large number of penalties, or a large penalty against a lot of things, right? Because you're literally carrying what,
yeah.
almost 3 times your weight, right?
Cool.
So you're buff, but you're not, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with that.
It's like a deadlift. You pick it up
Right.
and you put it back down.
You pick it up,
You
right?
can
Or
you
let's
lift
say
it.
that your troll comrade has fallen and they weigh 780 pounds. How are you? So now you know how much you can lift. You would need someone else to be able to help you with carry that troll out of the dungeon because they're not moving. We need to move. Right? Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
All right. So next we're gonna get to the next thing. Here's where you really start looking to see what Bahra's who Bahra is. Whether, and we're not talking about their gender or anything like that. Are they a good individual, a neutral individual, or are they evil? 95% of everything in the world you come across is neutral, which means they do some good, they do some bad, and a little of everything in between. Or do you want to work to be a good person?
Now, given that she's pretty roguey, I have a feeling she's going to be pretty neutral.
All right, so we'll
She's
stay with neutral. Right on.
super neutral.
All right, the next one we're going to work on is your aspects and motivations. Aspects is something about you that people can say, like, oh yeah, she's very bold, or wow, they're very ambitious. They're really kind of apprehensive. What do you see Bahra being? There are 7 of these that you need to choose from. You only choose one.
Let me see. I have that page.
Sorry, 10. And it's on page 62.
62. I'm torn. Hard. Think she's gonna be ambitious. Ambitious.
Ambitious. All right.
Yeah,
You sure?
I'm sure.
All right. So ambitious
Don't ask
as
me questions like that. That's hard.
it is.
I can guess
One
myself.
of the characters, one character I actually did with. I'm not. Are you on TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
So do you know who Mootly is? Mootly.
I'm bad with the names. I'm better with faces.
She's the if you're on the D&D TTRPG TikTok, she is a Australian, and she's, yeah. If you knew who I was talking about, you would know instantly who Mootly is. Mootly stands out like a sore thumb in a good way, but she's like very, like, who you're talking about. Anyways, she was in the middle of creating a character with me, and she started getting to these things and started looking around. She's like, oh, that's really good. Oh, that's really good. and we literally termed Mootly Moments based off of her. It's the ability to look at all the awesomeness and go, I want to do them all, but I can't.
I want to do all of them,
Right? So we
but I
named.
cannot. Yeah.
So we're gonna do ambitious, and now you get to choose your motivation.
Motivation.
What motivates this character?
Mhm. Because I like being chaotic. Think I'm gonna go with possession. The possession motivation.
Okay, brilliant. Possession. All
It's
right.
just a little butt.
Right.
Okay.
So what this does though is it's going to mess with your reputation, which I'm sure you're probably fine with. Everybody starts the game with 10 points of reputation because of your desire to got to have them all, got to catch them all.
Mm-hmm.
Your reputation actually goes to 0. So you have 0
No
reputation. And this is kind
No
of important because if you go to, like, let's say you come into a new town and you're like walking around, you walk into a bar and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go over here, and this person, this NPC can go, I'm gonna check against their reputation. Because you don't have a reputation, they're gonna know who you are, but it's all gonna be bad, whether it's true or not, right? You're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
so you're that Rakas.
Yeah.
I've heard about you. You're not very good news. You know what? I don't think I want to sit with you, kind of thing, right? And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you can change your reputation by doing reputable things or non reputable things, depending on what you are. There is no such thing as a negative reputation. It's just you're starting off with less or 0 reputation at this point. Okay?
Gotcha.
Now we're going to get into the real big Mootly moments. There
Ooh,
are
boy.
20 background choices that you can choose from.
Oh man, I was looking at these earlier because I had a feeling that I was gonna get stuck on these ones, and I was like, I'm not gonna take up everyone's time. I'm
Right.
gonna
And
look
you
at
can get stuck on these. Absolutely.
I'll look at these. So I was looking through them, and I was really stuck on Bounty Hunter. That was sitting pretty on my list. But also Wanderer. Between Bounty Hunter and Wanderer. I'm gonna go with Bounty Hunter.
Why Bounty Hunter?
Just the idea of the character I have in my brain, she's very like the world is full of so much riches and let me just but you know, she's motivated by money. It's very bounty hunter.
So is criminal.
Yeah, so is criminal. This is true. But I think bounty hunter is more of like the also putting my name in there.
Right on, right on. All right.
It's more of like more of a business aspect than just for like the hell of it.
Right on. Got you. All right. So let's go ahead and choose a background of bounty hunter, which is going to be interesting because there's another bounty hunter in the party.
Ooh, fun.
It might be interesting that I throw the two of you against each other at the first one, that you're both chasing down the same bounty.
Ooh,
Ooh.
fun.
All right. So with that, because you've chosen bounty hunter as your background, there are associated skill bonuses and associated bonuses, right? So look at the list of skills there for the associated skill bonuses. Pick 3 of those, and they all begin with a bonus background of +10. Let me know what they are, and we can put them in to your character, and it will be on your skills.
Or the associated just a skill bonus
Yeah, so you
right
get
now?
3 of those. Yeah, you gain 3 of
Okay.
those.
Okay. I like those first 3: convince, information gathering, and open locks.
All right, easy peasy. So convince, information, and open locks. All right, so +10 goes to your convince, +10 to information gathering, and +10 to open locks. Oops, sorry, wrong side. Open locks +10. All right. Now choose one of those 3, and it becomes a super background focus for you. Meaning it's going to gain another +10.
One of the 3 that I already picked?
Yes. Yippers.
Do another +10 to convince.
You sure?
No. I'm asking these questions.
I just want to make sure you're pushing your character in
Okay.
the right direction. That's all.
Okay. No, we'll go with open locks.
Open
Not
locks.
another. Yes. Plus. So it'd be +20 to open.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
All right, now
Yeah.
you gain one of the associated bonuses, meaning you can gain a +5 heroic luck, +10 fatigue, +10 poison resistance, or regain some of your reputation back.
I could regain some reputation. But I've already got poison resistance, so I don't need that. I'm immune to poison. So I don't even need that. The heck with it. Let's do +10 reputation.
+10 to reputation, right on.
Yeah, let's fix my
At
follies.
least you're more positive now. So it's actually just 10 reputation at this point.
10 reputation.
Yeah. All right. We are essentially done with that choice. We are now moving on to your skills and abilities. So let me close this particular portion down. We're going to go to chapter 2. So now we're going to finish up that little gray box before we actually move into actual skills. This is the way I create this characters. The way it's laid out in the book is a little different, but this is the way I do it. So that gray box on on the first page, we're going to go with half. We're going to figure out how high you can jump. So your jump is half your height plus 1 per 25 strength. So we're going to go for ease. You're closer to 6 foot than you are anything else. So we'll put you at 3 feet base plus 1 per 25 strength. So 2. So you can literally jump up 5 feet straight up.
Dope.
Your leap is going to be half your movement. And in this case, we're going to go with 8 just to make it easier. Round up for the characters, towards the character.
8.
Your lifting is literally just your strength score. So, for example, for you to lift that 384 pounds of stuff, right? You would have to take 384 and divide that by 64. You would need to get 6 successes, meaning that you would have to roll a critical on your strength check to be able to lift up that amount of weight. And even once you got it up there, holding it's going to be difficult.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Your swimming is going to be 1 foot per 10 stamina modifier, so it's 7 feet. And this is your dog paddling. You don't know how to swim. You just know how to keep your head above surface, and that is it, right? Your throw is going to be 92. It's already in there. Now your fear check is going to be your willpower, which in this case is 87 plus 15, so it makes it 102 for your fear. Your horror is your wits plus 15, so it's 72, 97, right? Yeah, 97. No, 87. Sorry, 87. I apologize. 87.
87.
Maths this late at night.
Hard.
Poison check is going to be your stamina plus 40. So in this case, it's going to be 127.
20 super resistant poison.
Okay. Now, the total number of skills that you begin with are based off of your intelligence plus 6. In your case, with your intelligence, you have intelligence of 73, so you get to start off with 10 skills. One thing I didn't mention at the when we were on your focuses, you actually gain one combat skill for free. And combat skills are things like martial arts, weapon craft, which is being able to use weapons, and in your case, it would be agility, strength, and perception, feint, and shield proficiency. So you gain one of those for free. So technically, you've got 11 skills, but one of them has to be a combat skill. Now, your character, I know that wants to go sniperish, got it, but you're also going to want to make sure you pick up like an agility based weapon. That way, in case they get too close, you can sticky, stabby.
Stabby stab.
All right.
Yep.
So you're going to start off with a total of 10 skills. And the way we do that is going to be on page 77.
Okay.
There are a list of skills here. Now, they're in these specific categories because of a focus bonus that you gain. As a combat focus, any combat skill that you choose up to 4, well, there's an option here. I'm going to give you an option. You can give them a plus 10 focus bonus. Okay, that's the standard rule. Or you can say, you know what, I'm only going to take 2 combat skills as my focus, but I'm going to take 2 general skills as my other focus. And they become general focuses, which gives you a plus 10 to any of those, plus 10 to those specific skills, but only 2. Does that make sense? So watch, like for example, you're going to pick weapon craft perception. So we're going to go on the character sheet. We're going to go to weapon craft. We're going to put perception, PER, in the small parentheses. We don't know what exactly it's going to be. It could be a bow. It could be a crossbow. It might even be a pistol, depending on how wealthy you are. It could be a rifle. And the base score, because it's a combat focus, is going to be a base of 40, plus your perception modifier of 8. And because you're going to make it a focus, it's going to be a base of 58 total.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, now I follow.
Okay. Now, let's say, because you're going to do that with one other combat skill if you want, or you can do 4. Let's say that you want to do a general skill as one of your focuses. So pick one of the general skills in the general skill box that you want to focus on.
Search.
So
Search makes sense.
search.
Yeah, search makes sense.
All right. So
Yeah.
search. Let's say that's you want to make search a general skill, so a focus skill. It's going to do the same process. It's going to start off with a base of 40, plus your perception modifier plus 10, so it makes it 58. Now you'll notice that next to it is the letter G. All right.
Yes.
Meaning that it's a general skill, but you're making it a focus. And so what, just to track that you've got it as a focus skill, I put in a parentheses FS as a focus skill until you get used to it. That way you know it's a focus skill.
Okay.
Okay. So that is going to come out of one of your regular skills. So now you're down to 9 skills. You get to still choose, and I'm going to say we're going to use your combat skill for free to get your perception weapon. So you have 9 skills to choose from. Don't forget about your convince, your information gathering, or your pick open locks. All right. Those are going to be things that you're going to need. And then, so that's going to take you down to 6 skills. Choose 6 other skills.
Okay.
Besides
From
the convince, information gathering, and open locks.
So this can be any of the boxes?
Any of
So I
them.
can do like
Any
knowledge, social stuff.
It can be any of them.
Oh,
It's
there's
just
so
that if it's a combat focus or a general focus, you'll gain a plus 10 bonus to them because you can choose it as a focus skill.
Gotcha. Okay. So think I want to take a martial arts skill just to do stabby
Okay.
stab.
Well, okay, so martial arts is hand to hand combat, right? If you want to do a sticky stick, that's going to be weapon craft again and taking it as an agility. You can
Oh, we
still
can do
take
martial.
martial arts. Don't get
Yeah,
me
we can do
wrong. I'm
martial.
just you can still take martial arts, but I just want you to know that with a weapon, sticky is going to be weapon craft agility.
Okay, let's do a weapon craft agility.
Okay. So in the small parentheses, put agility. We don't know what weapon you're going to get, but it's going to be a base of 58 because I'm assuming you're going to focus in that.
Yes.
Okay.
Real good at the weapon. Okay. And want to take
Ooh, that's good. Fell into
languages.
pool of sugar water and has suffered some serious
Which
acid
language do you want to take?
But the party did manage
You
to
already
No,
make
but
it through
you already
the
speak
fun difficulties.
Rakash,
A
common, and
little more
undercommon.
difficult than I think anyone expected a level 20 party to have. But
I'm not saying you can't, but there
Yeah.
are okay. So let me help you better. All right, there
Okay.
are a couple of skills that you really need to make sure you have. You want to make sure you have alertness. You've got search. You want convince, and you may want skepticism because skepticism is your ability to detect someone bullshitting you
Okay.
or
Makes
lying
sense.
to you, right?
Yeah.
So you want to take alertness. You've already got a little bonus to convince. You want to take search, which you've already got, and then you want to take skepticism as well. Being a rogue, your biggest thing is also going to be combat rogue. Is you're going to want to make sure you take stealth, right? It's not a focus
Okay.
for you,
Yep.
but it will be at least a base of 44, right? So let's
Okay.
take that. That reduces you to 8 skills. Let's go ahead and take your convince. And you can choose which one of those modifiers you gain. It's either going to be your intelligence, strength, or charisma. So either your intelligence or your charisma to be really convincing.
Holy crap!
all right.
We'll do. Yeah, we'll do intelligence.
All right. So it's going to start off at a base of 40, plus the 10 makes it 50, makes it 54 total for your convince. Hello, Brianna. How are you? Loved what you were doing with that piece that you're working on your channel. I love that color. I love grays. I'm just a gray black and white person, I guess. Color is so boring. All right. The next one you're going to want to do is make sure you take your information gathering, right? So that's going to start off with a base of 40 plus 10, right? Plus
Yep.
either your intelligence, wits, or charisma modifier.
Oh, they're all the same. This.
Say you want to do intelligence again?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, sounds good to me. So
54.
Makes it 54.
54. Okay, and then open locks.
And
If
then open locks.
Base 40.
Base of
Plus
40 is 60, and your perception modifier at 68. You're really good at opening locks right now. You'll get
Real
better.
good
but
at it.
You're pretty good at it.
So good.
Right?
Okay.
So next so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skills. We started with 10. You're down to 4 skills left. Take acrobatics, because you took acrobatic fighting. So take acrobatics.
7.
Right?
Hold on. Did I have 7 skills?
1, 2,
Convince,
3,
convince,
4,
info
5,
gathering.
6, 7. Right. So you had a total of 11 skills, right? One of them is
Right,
free
okay.
as your combat. So we take that out. So that leaves you with 6 skills. You had 10 real skills that you could take. So that leaves you with 4 skills left. Don't forget to take your acrobatic skill because that's going to be your ability to.
Let's do acrobatics.
Right. So that's going to be your agility, I think, and that's going to be a base of 44.
44. And then doing skepticism.
Right. So skepticism. So obviously, I think that's going to be your wits, yeah. So or your intelligence. Which one do you want it to be?
Let's do wits. I have a lot of things. Intelligence. Do wits.
All right, so that's going to be 44.
4.
You've got
Um,
2 skills left.
2 whole skills left.
Now, sleight of hand is your ability to do like pickpocket things or other things like that. That's a good one to have. Um, um, disguise might be a good one, so that way you can disguise yourself to look something different if you need to. Gaming, if you ever want to get involved in a thing of game, like gaming, like gaming, like poker and chips and dice and all that
Yeah.
stuff. That one's kind of fun to have. Haggle allows you to haggle with somebody. Healing, which is a general skill, and you still have one more skill that you can focus in for general, allows you to stop somebody from bleeding to death if they get hurt. And if you have a healing kit, you can actually help restore some of their health back to them if there's not a caster around or someone available.
Cool.
Um,
Dang.
you can take lures. There's certain lures you can take. Um, what else do you see Bahra doing?
She's just in for like the big the big hits. Like let me but I want to get higher to do it. So probably haggle, you know, to even haggle with the boss, get slide a little more than my way and I can do it.
Haggle is your ability to haggle somebody down, or like down. Like I'll sell this to you, but it'll cost you 100 silver pieces. No, no, no. I'm gonna haggle with you, and then you go back into this competition of haggling and see who can haggle who. And it might actually turn and go the opposite direction, and he haggles you up like 25% higher than the normal cost because you fell
Mhm.
for it.
Yeah. Okay. 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 So gonna go with alertness,
Okay,
be awares, plus my perception. 8, so it'll be 48.
correct.
I'm learning. Okay. That leaves me with what, 2 left?
One left.
1 left. And then I think I'm going to take.
So while she's looking at that, Brianna, I want to show you some of the art. So this is the character she's playing. She's playing I assume, a female version. Is this correct?
Yes.
A female version
Yeah.
of these guys. They are Rakas. They are actually connected genetically and evolutionary to an ancient species that produced the Kova, the Habatu, and the Rakas. They are all one. They all have a single tree, and so that's the kind of what she's playing with the female version of it. And what's interesting about the Rakas society, Silky, this is very important for you as well, is it's female driven. Female, the female is the most important inside their hierarchy and leadership and society.
Dope.
Yeah, so it's really kind of, yeah, they are. Um, Most of the clans are led by what's called a Malkata, which is essentially a queen. And there are males, right? But the females tend to be a little more aggressive in their abilities and what they want to do, but they tend to rule as part of the higher ups over their society.
This one might be a little weird.
Uh oh.
Can I take brawling?
Yeah, you can take brawling. Do you want that to be your focus? Because you've still got one general
Yeah,
skill to be focused in.
to be focusing. Yeah, I think brawling as a focus.
I love the way these characters are coming together. This is going to be great. So that's going to be a 44. Make sure you put in there as a focus skill. So that's actually going to be 54. So it's a FS. So it's that. So it's going to be a 54 in brawling. Wow. So one of the
I'm a
other
trouble
characters that
like
you
little
haven't,
thing.
right, you are. I think both of you are actually going to do. So one's a Jakara. She is actually a Linak, which is a little bit smaller, right? She's a smaller one. You're a little bit taller than her, but she is very like, oh, look at the world. It's so full of awesomeness. And you're like, I'm about to. Well, let's go take care of this. And you both have brawling. So I can see at some point both of you going, you want to go for a drink? Yeah, let's go for a drink. Hey, that guy's looking at you kind of funny. Oh, is he looking at me funny?
Bar
He's looking at you
fight.
funny. Bar fight. Right?
Bar
Yeah, don't
fight.
worry about what happened to those guys, right? It's going to be interesting, but she's good and you're neutral. So it's going to be interesting to see how you guys interplay with that. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right, so we are done with your skills. We are
Done with the skills.
almost done with your character generation. The next thing we get to choose is your first ability, right? You've gotten two from your species. You've gotten two from your focus. Now you're going to choose one from your that you could choose. Now,
Okay.
if you choose an ability that's outside of combat abilities, it's going to cost you a little bit more to go up a rank, right? It's only 500. It's not that much. But there are a lot of stealth abilities and combat abilities that you may want to take a look at. You have said that you kind of want to be someone who's like a sniper kind of like concept and coming out of the shadows and just stabbing them or hitting them from one place and then moving on, correct?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is this. This is going to take you a moment. This is where because I really want you to get the kind of character concept you want down. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to, let's go to combat first. We're going to go to page 99 and it's a combat abilities index. Okay. These are all the abilities that are that we've considered combat focused.
Okay.
These abilities, though, now you have to meet the prerequisites for. The species one and the focus one, you didn't have to worry about it, but here you have to meet the prerequisites for it. There is Acrobat Fighter. You already have that as part of your combat focus, which is awesome. There's also Attack Quickness, which gives you a bonus to your initiative, and you can draw your weapons a little bit faster. So do you see her being more of a Hawkeye version? You know how if you're familiar with the Marvel, do you see her being more of a Hawkeye or a Black Widow? How goes it, Dano?
Kind of more Hawkeye, where you would like to keep her distant if she can, in like a grand scheme planned situation. But like in a non-planned, accidental troublemaker kind of situation, she'll
Well,
throw
then I
hands.
think ultimately what I'm gonna ask you to take then is probably going to be archery, which. So you have your choice. Do you want to try to use a crossbow or use arrows? Or wait, before we even decide that, do you want to find out how much money you have? And that will either help you determine if you're going to go either a crossbow, a bow, or a gun. Now,
Let's
a
do that.
rifle will cost you 1,200 silver pieces, so it may be out of your reach as a first rank character.
Okay.
A bow has a lot further distance than a pistol does, but a pistol can ignore a lot of armor. And archery, which is really kind of cool. So archery is up here on page 98. So you start off, you gain a +5 bonus damage and a bonus +5 bonus to your attack skill when you're using bows. Additionally, so long as you have an arrow notched in your bow and are at point blank or short range of an opponent, you may fire before initiative is called and cause an additional D10 points of damage, base damage, if you hit with 3 or more successes. At legendary, you gain an additional +10 to your heroic, your attack skill, and you may make plus if you make only one skill, you may add 25 feet. You do not suffer the imposed maximum range on sneak attacks or range sneak attacks, but you cannot exceed the weapon's maximum range for this attack and must be able to see the target. So basically, we have the concept that you can range sneak attack somebody from a distance. And if you want to be silent about it, I think the bow or crossbow would be better for it.
Yeah,
Oh, right
I
on.
do like archery. I do.
Archery is awesome. And
I
when
shoot archery professionally. I
oh,
did.
do you?
I did.
Right
Yeah.
on. So, and
Got like
then with Epic,
stuff.
which is at 10th rank, you can then begin to literally you gain one of these other ones, right? Where people who are behind concealment, unless it's 100%, you can well, even at 100%, the penalties are reduced for you. You can see them, right? You can do a dead shot, you can improved shot, long shot, trick shot. Paragon, having become a very fast shooter, which is at 15th rank, your rate of fire per full action has reached its maximum of 10 shots per turn, but the multiple strike rules still apply. So how often can you fire your bow is the question. Your rate of fire is based on your total skill as with your weapon, right? In this case, I believe it is, since they're medium weapons and you have a fairly good score currently, you could fire your bow approximately, I think it's 3 times per turn. Thunk, thunk, thunk.
Cool.
All right, so you want to do archery?
Yeah, let's do archery.
All right, so we'll do archery. We'll make it easy. So, last ability is going to be archery. And you gain a +5 to your bonus damage and your attack skill. So +5 bonus damage and +5 attack skill. So what does that mean mechanically for you? So your weaponcraft perception goes from 58 to 63. And your damage bonuses up here, like in the attacks, we're going to put a +5 right for that right now. We're going to figure that out in just a minute. Okay.
Which one? The weapon type.
Damage, right, in the weapon type.
The base damage?
The bonus damage. Damage bonus. It's right next to the base damage, right?
Yeah, +5. Okay.
All right. So now I'm going to tease you. I'm really going to make it difficult for you. All right. So in stealth abilities, on page 139. Let's go to there. Take a look at that.
Ooh, stealth abilities. Ooh.
Welcome to Mootly Moments. Presented to you by Mootly. There are some incredibly awesome things in here, right? Like one person who's actually watching right now, and he's probably at work still, is Out of Print GM. He actually plays a Mannix who's focused in stealth, and he has now got the ability to, through shadow data, to actually create shadow weapons made out of shadow that he can create, and they last for a while. There's a lot of cool things in here. I'm going to tease you with it only because I want you to know that they're here. So when you get ready to your next one, right, you can decide, I want to do this, right, for my next rank. And one of them I want you to look at is called, let me take a look here. The one I want you to take a look at is Wily Rogue. It's on page 146. Wily Rogue allows you to do a lot of cool little things, right? One of them is quick disable. The length of time it takes to disable or remove a trap is reduced. These are things that are roguish, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that, and there's a lot of these things that you have to start off with taking with Shadowcraft and Shadow Data, and they allow you to do some really cool things like Shadow Data, which is a base path. You can engulf yourself in a shadow equal to 3 times your size, right? That gives you a
Cool.
plus. It gives you 100% concealment, and it lasts for 1 turn per willpower until you decide to attack from the shadow. That's the base for that. Now, Shadow Craft, basically at heroic level, I give you a spell as an innate ability from my choice as an innate ability because you've got this ability. Generally, I pull from the essence because essence is dark magic. But I could probably pull it from air and those kind of things. So these are some really cool kind of things you got to do. But they both Shadowcraft and Shadow Data tend to be requirements for other weapons, like other abilities, like Shadow Weapon, Shadow Chest, Shadow Tools, Shadow Boxing, Shadow Memory, Shadow Secrets. All these different kinds of things, Shadow Agility, that you can choose. So when you're choosing your next ability, which will happen probably the third game that we play, I want you to go through the combat and these and these to figure out what you want to do, and to further push the button, the knife, is we also have these things called general abilities. So starting on page 149, these are abilities that are everybody can have access to. They don't cost any extra. And there are some really awesome ones in here, like if you want to build a really awesome sniper like Hawkeye, expert skill use gives you a +5 to any 3 skills, and you can take it up to 5 times per, right? So you can become awesome with your ability to fire weapons or fire your bow. You can do so one of the things that's really awesome is if you, let's say you roll really, really well, you're like, wow, that's a crit, and it's just a basic skill. Dang, you know what? And if you've got the ability Kismet, you can store that really awesome roll for later. And then like, okay, well, I really need to hit this guy. I'm going to pull out my Kismet and I'm just going to hit it. And that's just what it is. Whatever you rolled for that Kismet stored, you can use. There's also things in here like telekinesis. You can move things with your brain, right? There's things in here called panache. And I really teased Jocelyn yesterday with panache. Because she's basically her character is literally Puss in Boots. Literally.
Oh my god, I love it.
Puss in Boots, right? And I teased her with panache. She's like, "Oh, I hate that. That's awesome." Right? So her next one's going to be going to that. You have other things like Strider or Supreme Effort. The next thing you're also going to want to maybe take is Surgical Strike, which allows you to use your perception bonus modifier as the bonus damage instead of your normal strength bonus, right? So we have that. There's a lot of cool abilities in here that you're going to want to take your time looking, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun playing Legends of Kralis as your first TTRPG. There's so many options for you, and but and don't feel overwhelmed, right? It's going to feel like it's overwhelming. If you're like, hey, I don't know what to take, let's talk about what you want to do with your next rank, right? Okay, well, I really want him to do this, or I really like this. I'm able to do this more. Then we can figure that out. And that's what we do as GMs, right?
Yep.
All right. Now that I'm done waving the carrot in front of your face, you can take it away. Let's go to equipment. So we're going to go to page 161.
Okay. 161. 160. Here we are. Okay.
All right, so now we're going to figure out your total wealth. As a bounty hunter, you start off with 525 silver pieces. Now we're going to roll to see how well the gods like you. So you're going to take your 10-sided dice, right, the one that's got the tens place, and a regular one, and you're going to roll, and you want to roll as low as possible. So
where's my other friend? Okay, matching set. Let's go. Ah! They always want to. Why do you always want to run?
They want to run away from you.
It's this one guy who keeps wanting to run it. Okay, you know what? That's aside. We're not going to use this.
How are you doing, bud? Hope everything's doing well for you tonight. I'm over on the purple app rolling up a character for a upcoming game campaign, maybe on D&D Denial's Twitch channel, and also to be streamed on my Hilarious Gaming channel. Hope all is well for you, bud.
Okay.
All right, so roll
We have
low.
Roll low.
So what'd you roll?
Okay. A 42.
Well, that's not too bad. That's average, actually.
Oh,
So you're going to actually
bad.
start off with 500, with 1,075 silver pieces
Cool.
as your starting money. So that goes on your second sheet under silver pieces, 1,000 and did I say 75? Yeah, 1,075. 75 silver pieces.
75. Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, now we're going to get into buying equipment. So as a person who's going to be using an acrobat fighter, I would suggest that first don't take in you can't use acrobat fighting and be anything heavier than light armor. But let's get you the best light armor you can afford, and that's going to be ring armor. It's kind of like chainmail, right? And that's going to be a base of going to cost you 300 silver pieces. So that's going to take you down to 775 pieces. All right. And where do we put that? We're going to go up to your first page character sheet, armor and defenses, and in armor type, we're going to put ring armor in there, and it has an absorption of 11. You also have because you're Rakas, a plus 10 damage reduction versus slashing weapons. So just so you don't forget it, in the notes section of your armor and defense, I'm going to put in plus 10 DR damage reduction versus slashing. Right? If that's there we go. Cool.
Yeah.
So if you get hit by a weapon that's not a piercing, like an arrow, a bolt, a bullet, a javelin, or a spear, or a bludgeoning weapon like a club, a hammer, a maul, your armor is actually 21 and not 11. Your thick skin protects you from slashing weapons more than it does piercing weapons or bludgeoning weapons.
Okay, so only versus like the slash. So if I get hit by a slashing weapon, my armor would be 21.
Right, and everything else is going to be 11.
Everything else would be 11.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah, that's the easiest way. I was trying to be more descriptive to give you a better idea. I was probably overly descriptive. I tend to do that a lot. All right. The next thing we're going to do is pick your weapon.
Weapon.
So I would suggest picking up two types of weapons. One's going to be your bow, obviously, and the other one's going to be, I think, a couple of small, quick agility-based swords, right? So let's go ahead and talk about your bow. Your bow, you can either pick up a short, medium, or long bow. The best ones that tend to be the best are going to be the medium bows.
Okay.
So medium bow is going to cost you 200 silver pieces. So on your silver piece total, you're at 575 pieces. And up here for your attacks, you're going to have a medium bow, right? With a particular type of ammo, right? So the damage doesn't come from the bow. It comes from the actual, it's an addition to. So your medium bow is going to do a base damage of 4.
Okay.
Your total skill is going to be 63. And then the bow, depending on the arrow that you have, is going to increase your base damage. And so if you want to buy hunting arrows, which, by the way, is on page 168, if I didn't tell you, they increase your base damage of your weapon by +2 as long as you're using them, right?
Dope.
They are 50 silver pieces for 20 of them. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Trying to do quick math. How much money do I have?
525 if you buy those.
Yeah, let's get those.
All right.
Do
So then
20.
what you'll do is medium bow with a hunting arrow. Hunting arrow. And your base damage is going to be 6. Okay. Your strike range is going to just be the range of the weapon, and that's in chapter 5 combat, and we'll get into that when you need to know that. All right. For the most part,
Okay.
you're not going to suffer any penalties as long as they're within 120 feet of you, right? And you can see them.
So I've got 525 gold left.
525 silver.
Silver.
Yeah.
Silver pieces.
All right.
5.
Now there's a special note for these things called A5 B5s, right? So we're going to put A5 comma B5 in the special notes for you, and 2H as well. And so 2H, A5, B5. What this means is that the bow is a two-handed weapon. It ignores 5 points of armor per shot, and it causes a bonus +5 bleed damage per turn if you hit somebody. Then that's something you're gonna have to. Hey, that's 5. You know they're gonna bleed 5 points of damage because I hit them. So in this case, if you get when you roll underneath your score, so let's give you an example. Go ahead and roll your D100 or your 2D10 and tell me what you rolled.
77.
You failed.
Oh.
You miss. You shoot and you miss.
Yeah.
Right? So roll again.
45.
All right, so you've got 45 and your skill is 63. So that gives you 2 successes worth of damage. On my side of the world, as the NPC, I get a defense, and you also get a defense if you're being attacked. Let's say I just miss my defense, right? So I don't get any successes that counter your successes. You got 2 successes worth of damage. You're going to do a base of 6 points of damage per success. So in this case, it's going to be 12 plus your bonus damage of 5. So you're going to do 17 points of damage. If I have armor that normally absorbs, let's say I have 20 armor, you're going to ignore 5 and always do 5 points of damage to me and do 5 bleed, right? However, let's say that I have only 11 points of armor like you do. I'm still going to take 6 points of real damage and ignore 5. So I'm actually going to end up taking 11 points of damage and I'm going to bleed 5.
Gotcha.
Right? So
Yeah.
you're going to combat in this, and you being new to TTRPGs, there are different levels of combat, right? In Legends of Kralis, it's very harsh, meaning that if you go into a fight, you've got to be prepared for the fact that your character could die, because combat is it's deadly and spiky, and it can change based off of what you do with your heroic luck, and if you fail, if you succeed, it's unpredictable. Okay? Cool.
Okay.
So we are almost done here. We've got that. We've got your hunting arrow. So what we want to do is on your equipment, page 3, you're gonna want to like enter down a couple things. 20 hunting arrows. That way you know. Okay.
Okay.
And now we're gonna go, because I'm an old grog nerd and I like lists because they're cool to choose things from. We are going to look at that. Look at that.
Beautiful. I love the
Right?
art. In the book.
These guys are actually in the void out in space fighting aliens.
Dope. Big fan of that.
I like it list. So starting on page 182 is the list of all the adventuring gear you can pick up. But to make it easy, we also include adventuring packs, which begin on page 189. You have 525 silver pieces left. You can buy an adventuring pack which comes with all your basic stuff, and if you want to go back later and go, you know what, I really need this piece of chalk so I can draw a map. Or I want some people go in, one person went in and said they bought a whistle. They wanted a whistle. One person bought a timepiece to keep track of things, an actual watch, right? So you can do whatever you want to. So on page 189 are these adventuring packs, or if you want to take your time off camera and build up your own stuff, you can.
Cool. Yeah, we'll just to a burglar's pack. Yeah, let's do a burglar's pack. I got enough silver for that.
Okay. Did you read the Explorers pack?
Explorers. Oh, it's got the healing kit. Climbers kit, map making kit, fire sticks, survival. Heavier.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I should get a burglar's pack, but
What's up,
also like,
Dragon?
but also like a bed.
So you're
Because
gonna
the
go with the
burglar's pack
Explorers pack?
not come with that.
I'm over on the Purple app, finishing up rolling up a character for a new game that's gonna be starting on Friday nights.
Get. Hmm. Hmm.
Right, the accursed Purple app.
Yeah, let's go with the explorer's pack. It's easy peasy.
Right. So what I normally
Okay.
do, and this may not be something you'll be able to do, but I highlight it, copy it, and I'll go over to my second sheet and I will drop it in there.
I cannot copy paste, but I'm just gonna make a note of it that I have first.
Yeah, we definitely got to do another chat soon. Yeah. Yeah. So what you can do is you can spend some time, because I know you got to go back and forth because you're doing it on your iPad, which I actually think is a brilliant idea. Right? It's kind of like a character sheet that you can use right then once it's done. I totally get that. So it includes, yeah. So just move it over however you want to. Bring up the PDF on your PC, and then just write it in if you so like.
Yep.
And that's it. You're done.
I'm done.
You're done. That sounds like
That's
a short.
it.
Wait, I was done. I'm done. You're done.
Oh my god.
Right. And we've only spent, we've chatted. You've made some decisions. We've talked. It's only been 2 hours. Not too bad. As you get better with this, you will find that you will be able to create characters in Legends of Kralis really quickly. I can create a fairly complex character within about 25 minutes. Last one I did was a quick character generation, was a troll priest of Haddock, battle priest of Haddock. So she had some spells she had to choose from and some other things.
Fun. I'm guessing. Okay, so I took away my silver pieces, so I'm left with 120
Yep.
silver pieces. Dope.
You have 125 silver pieces to your name.
Cool.
Cool?
Cool. All right.
No, your
We're
comments
here.
are coming through, bud. Yeah. Maybe a little delayed, but they're coming through, bud. Yeah, that's it. And your character, Bahra, exists somewhere in the Omniverse, and we will find out how well she does with the other three. I've got another one that's going to be rolling on Friday night, I believe, and we're going to find out what happens there. So, what do you think? What do you think? This is your first. So, Dragon, just let you know, because you're on the TikTok over here. Silky over here. This is her first tabletop RPG. She's never done one before. And she dropped into the Discord and she heard about it. She's like, that sounds like fun. And she rolled up her first character in her character creation life as a Legends of Kralis. I think that's awesome. I am ecstatic about that. And so I'm going to go ahead.
Hopefully she survives.
Huh?
Hopefully she survives.
Oh, she will. You'll survive. Trust me, you'll survive. It may not feel like it at times. You may like, oh my God, she's dead. They're dead. They're dead. They're all dead. And
you
then
can't do it.
Someone comes along and does something with their heroic life that changes the the actual dynamic of the battle. So it will definitely be awesome. So I think you're number 61 of the total number of people I've actually created characters with. That some I've recorded, some I haven't recorded. But you're definitely, so you're about 61. So I'm getting close to 100 people out there who have created characters so far. That's like that we've been doing it remotely, whether TikTok or Discord. Other people have actually done things and things like that.
Exciting.
Cool.
I'm excited to start.
I'm excited to have you guys start. So our start date is going to probably be March 4th. Because we've got a couple of we've got one individual who's part of the military and they're doing some stuff, so he'll be available. Jocelyn is not going to be able to do anything until after this first couple of weeks. So what we're going to also end up doing, we're going to do a session 0, get everybody together in Discord, and we're going to talk about what you guys want to do. I am a sandbox GM, meaning that I allow you to go wherever you want in the world, but there will be consequences based off of your actions. Like in the real world, like if you decide to go into a dungeon and I'm like, are you sure you want to go there? And like, yes, we're going there. All right. And you all die. That's on you, not me. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going to muck it up. Are you kidding me? And those kind of things. He's like, so you can't see the TikTok. So
Yeah.
Dragon, who's actually a good friend of mine, and has actually played Legends of Kralis with me and has got he actually created Tigger, literally Tigger, out of a character here in Legends of Kralis. He basically says, woohoo, exciting, you are her literal gateway into TTRPGs, and that's a lot of pressure. Don't muck it up. I'm coming for you. You and I are going to have to sit down and have some beers about this one, man. Anyways, so what do you think? As it being your you've got no comparison.
I've got nothing. Right? I've got a whole lot of nothing to compare this to.
So
this
what do you think?
It seemed like a lot at first, but having you explain it, I'm like, oh yeah, this seems like I could do this. This makes sense.
So the next challenge is if you decide to create your own character on your own without me, but I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? Like if you need help, Discord me. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's talk. I'm pretty much available. Yeah. But that would be your next step, is to see if you can create one on your own, and that's how you learn the system, right?
Mm-hmm. Since you told me, like, hey, can we talk this day? I've been like, yeah, I've been thinking nonstop about what I could do, what kind of things I could do, like, right.
And you've only
the sci-fi aspect is fun.
You've only scratched the surface of this iceberg. There is so just to let you know, we were talking about abilities, right? There are 303 different abilities that you can choose from. So the combination of total character combinations that you can have are about 160,000 different character combinations with the core system. So not to say that there's a lot of pressure, it just gives you a lot of variety and variation in things.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you can develop so many different ways and go in different directions.
Oh yeah, you can definitely see with so many different characters and so many different just focuses. That's a term that y'all use, but I'm using it in a general sense. But there's a lot.
I'm excited. So I will. We're gonna go ahead and finish here. So awesome! We actually created Selkie's first character. It is a Rakas combat rogue who likes to snipe people like Hawkeye from a distance. And we are going to be getting together and starting to play starting, I believe, March 4th on D&D Denial's Twitch channel starting March 4th. So come join us there. We're going to find out if they're going to be brave enough to jump into the void or they're going to start planet side. So it'll be a lot of fun. Also, don't forget, if you're actually watching, the Kickstarter is still live. We're hoping to reach 100. We're hoping to reach 15,000. We're kind of stalling out just a little bit. So if you like the game and you want to give us some support, come give us some support. Anything from the PDF all the way up to what's called the Legendary Experience, which gets you a hard copy and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So until then, Selkie, say goodbye.
Bye, Selkie.
Bye.